Hi friends, so let's look at the team which we are now preparing for game week 8. Now this is again after a international break. We are not very sure that how the team is going to perform. I mean your team which you're picking up for the fantasy stuff. So I've got Sanchez. Now Sanchez has a game against Liverpool. I know it's going to be a massive game against Sanchez, I would say against Chelsea, but the number of stops which he can make, the number of saves which he can make, and probably he can rack up some points. So that's the reason why I don't think that it is going to be that difficult for him to get him some points. I've got Gabriel. I'm showing faith in him. I know that Arsenal have not got clean sheet in the last couple of games, but I feel that Bournemouth away they can probably get that. Then I have Aina against Crystal Palace home. I have Romero. He's a kind of a player. I do believe that he is somebody who is actually looked really good for Tottenham, and I think that he's going to do well. Then I have got Muembo, Manchester United away. Now again, Manchester United. I am not so sure that how Manchester United is going to perform now. So I mean, I don't know. I don't want to comment on that. I'm a Liverpool fan, so I just don't want to be biased on my opinion. Then we have Dwight McNeil. I think McNeil has been the player. It's a kind of a go-to player for Everton this season, and with Calvert-Lewin, he is the biggest threat for the opposition. And I think now Everton have started to look pretty good. I would say in the last couple of game weeks. So he is going to probably have a kind of a big say. Then we have Luis Diaz against Chelsea now. For Liverpool, I think it's always tricky, right? Somebody or people who don't have Mo Salah, who's the next player they can get into, right? Luis Diaz has got a great start to the season right now, and I think more than Jota, he's the one who is kind of more favored to get more pointers because he seems to be playing more central, right? And I think it's a kind of a toss up between all of these players when you talk about Liverpool. So I think Luis Diaz is a guy you really need to have in your team. Saka is kind of I would say he's probably kind of he has a knock, but I think with Arsenal they cannot afford to drop any points, and he's kind of 70 to 80% sure of playing. So I think that he's going to start the game. Then we have Chris Wood. Now I got Wood in place of Calvert-Lewin, and that was one change which I have made, and the reason is that Wood has been phenomenal, right? You see his whatever the things he has done. See, he has been kind of super consistent, right? 4 goals he has scored, and another very good thing about him is that if you see the games, he has a game against Crystal Palace, then he has a game against Leicester, and then West Ham United. So in the next 3 games, he is he's probably I think one right up there, right? So I believe that he should be there in the team. Then we have Haaland. Obviously, don't need to talk about him. He's a super guy, who would be there in every team. So I would have Haaland, and then Watkins is there, who has actually looked good. I would say in the last 7 to 8 game weeks. I've got Konate on the bench. I'm still kind of thinking that should I get Konate to start the game, even though it's Chelsea, right? Chelsea would be scoring, but Liverpool has just conceded 2 goals in their 7 odd games. So let's see. I'm just still kind of confused. I might make this change. And Emil Smith Rowe, he's not started games regularly. I would say still a very important player, but against Aston Villa, a team which is kind of very strong, I've just kept him on the bench. And Luis Digne as well, I've kept him on the bench, but that's the challenge. I believe that I've got a very strong bench, and that's the reason why it is kind of making me slightly vulnerable to what kind of players I can have on the field and what players I need to substitute as well. So let's see. But if there is any more changes, I'll let you know. But this is the team which I have right now, and I think that this is going to be really good for you. If you see the fixtures right now, my suggestion would be if you want to pick up any players, you pick up players from Nottingham Forest. I have got Aina. I've got Wood as well in the team. That's one thing. You can, if you are really kind of bold enough to make some sort of players, you can have players. Then you can have Spurs player also. I think Brendan Johnson has been really good. You can have Son. Those are kind of players you can also look at, and then probably you can also have certain players from Manchester United again. For United, not so sure that how many players would be able to perform. It's a kind of a case, but those are kind of teams which have a good fixture, and then let's see how it works out. So Manchester City, I don't need to tell you about City that you want to pick something or somebody or the other, but obviously you need to have Haaland in the team and rest. That's a kind of a gamble. So thanks. So I hope that this can give you a lot of points for this case.